the services side and IT services across the globe, the one big trend we are seeing is the influx of cloud-based solutions. The one big inflection point that we are seeing is the consumerization of technology, where people are adopting digital, if I may call it, adoption of digital technologies much faster than what we thought was possible. And what that means is that a significant number of organizations may not have their technology platforms today capable of servicing this changing needs of the consumer. And I believe that our industry is going to dramatically alter in the way they will be building mobility apps, in the way they will be moving applications to cloud, and in the way they are going to make consumer experience an entirely different experience. So that's a big shift that is coming. And that would mean, in addition to the fact that we have traditionally serviced the CIOs, a lot of business units are going to start playing a role in what we do. So whether it's a CMO or a CDO or a COO or a CFO, I believe that there are going to be significant adoption of technology in their areas of work, and therefore the services segment today is going to start talking the business language in a far more emphatic way than it has ever done in the past. So I think that's a shift over the next, I would say, anywhere between 2 to 5 years. So as I said earlier, what this means is that you are not going to find what I would call as huge monolithic apps or applications that are being built by organizations anymore. You're going to find that the investments from the customers are going to be more towards building very agile, very on-the-move IT solutions. And added to that, there used to be a time when we used to talk about a separate environment for development and a separate environment for operations. And I think those things are starting to get compressed and crushed. So the new conversations around DevOps and minimizing your new versions and upgrades is going to be dramatically shifting. All this means that the people who are capable of building products and solutions will have to be trained in the latest technologies, will have to have a greater understanding of the changes happening in the market. And most importantly, it would mean that we will have to have the ability to have an ongoing, daily, iterative conversation with the customer. So that is a big shift for an industry that is used to doing monolithic applications, production support and maintenance. It's shifting to this sphere, and I think that's going to be the big change. My sense is, I think most of us, when we talk about digital, think social, and that probably is the biggest misnomer that most marketeers are doing. How they are seen, heard, and talked about on a Facebook or a Twitter seems to be the biggest attention when we say digital. I believe that that is really not the way it is. While that is an important part and definitely something that needs to be addressed, the ability to be seen, heard, and engaging customers on the digital platforms on content is going to be equally important. So the ability to create platforms which will help them to comment, the ability to create platforms where they can co-create content with us is going to be an important sphere. So while social media and social analytics are important, I would say broad base it to include content, to include engaging not just the customers but other stakeholders and also your internal associates. For example, in our organization now, we have killed any conversation or news updates or information updates within the organization on mail. We have created an app which is the only source of such information for the 100,000 associates we have. And we are taking that same app across to our customer and stakeholder universe. to me, that's about engagement, and it's not about just the social aspect.